in Princeton, New Jersey for a phenomenal matchup on the boys lacrosse circuit as the Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy Blue Devils are on the road to face the Princeton Day School Panthers. Two winning teams, two winning programs, two phenomenal programs that square off today in a big lacrosse battle. Simon Rose here with you on the Strive Network. Thanks for joining us, everyone, as we bring you to a beautiful day for lacrosse. Baker Field, beautiful facility, relatively new turf field here. It is humid, it is hot, and it is a good day for some boys lacrosse. 8-7 are the visiting Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy Blue Devils. And the Princeton Day School Panthers having another great year. They'll be the #1 seed in the Mercer County tournament as well as the Prep B tournament. They are 7-1. We will focus on one of these players, and that is the leading goal scorer for the team. And you see him right there walking with the referees. Elon Tuckman, class of 2018, already committed to Gettysburg College. 19 goals this year, 17 assists. So looking at the kid's numbers, and he's been a significant contributor for Princeton Day School since his freshman season. Not only does he score goals, 70 of them in his career, but he racks up nearly as many assists, 60 assists in his career. So Elon Tuckman certainly going to be a player to watch here today for Princeton Day. You see he had a huge year last season as a sophomore, and still another year to go as a senior. But this year in his junior campaign, 19 goals and 17 assists, leads Princeton Day School. So we've got a few moments. We see the two teams shaking hands before. Let's take a look at some recent results for Princeton Day and their upcoming schedule. They are currently on a 5-game win streak, defeating Robbinsville 5 games ago, and they haven't lost since. And coming off that 11-2 win against the Petty School, in which Tuckman had 7 points in that game. And we are ready for the face-off and the start of this contest. Princeton Day School in their home white jerseys, they'll move right to left to start. And dark blue jerseys for the Blue Devils of Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy. And we are underway. It's Springside-CHA that wins the opening face-off, and they control in the offensive zone. Malcolm Glendinning running the point from the top, and he quickly goes off on a substitution. And a slow pace to start here for Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy, coached by Mike Delgrand, also the athletic director down at CHA, or what used to be just CHA, but now Springside has joined the academy. Beautiful campus down there in Chestnut Hill, Pennsylvania, right on the outskirts of Philadelphia. As the Blue Devils with Mac McLaughlin behind the net, but this is a Princeton Day School defense that has been phenomenal all season long. And right on cue, a ground ball forced, but unable to pick it up is PDS. It was Tyler Birch who knocked it away, but Bernardi could not gain possession. And this is dangerous, as in front it'll lead to a goal, and it's number 22 and Mac McLaughlin who finishes. A sloppy clear attempt by Princeton Day School. They had a couple of chances to get that one out of the zone. Instead, it was thrown back to the goaltender, and Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy makes them pay. It is number 13 in Matt Bone, a sophomore attacker for the Blue Devils, who was able to get that turnover and the assist. And the eventual goal scored by McLaughlin. So, first goal to Springside-Chestnut Hill. Just over a minute gone by. We have yet to see a Princeton Day School offensive possession. And they won't get one here. As once again, it is a win for Springside-Chestnut Hill. with a 1-0 lead. It's under 10.5 to go here in the first quarter. Both teams in the hearts of their tough schedules. Of course, Springside-Chestnut Hill playing in the Interac. Great lacrosse conference down there in Pennsylvania. Coming off a win against Germantown Academy, 12-10. As making his move is Jack Lamb, and they'll work it behind again. And trying to spin Meserly, Zach Meserly of Springside-Chestnut Hill. He's guarded by Jared Levison. And now back up to the top, it's Bone. I'll go behind again. Brendan Clark now. Brandon Clark, deking, still with possession, looking for somebody in front. Instead, he's going to go to goal, and it's knocked out of his stick. And eventually claimed by the goaltender and Connor Green. Green, a sophomore goalie, who's had a great season, but his defense has had a phenomenal season, and it helps when the guys in front of you are playing well. I have that confidence in the guys on the field in front. As PDS finally is able to bring it into the offensive zone, and they look for their first shot, as it's Jake Bennett, the standout freshman, who has been a extremely pleasant, I don't even want to say surprise. They expected big things from him, but he's come in here as a freshman and played quite well. As they come to the near side, this is Will Brossman, scoring 13 goals this season. And out from the far side, it's Kobe Auslander. Trying to get a shot was Brossman. He's got a wicked shot off of his stick, but Springside-Chestnut Hill able to defend that one away, and bringing it across is Jordan Young. So we've got a loose ball here at midfield. Coming out of the pack is Young. Young getting it down low to Baker, and that one will not go. And Brandon Clark was denied, as we've got a down Princeton Day School Panther, and this will be our first extra man opportunity for PDS. So a big defensive stand, as Brandon Clark of Springside-Chestnut Hill had a good chance to put that one in the back of the net. And ultimately it leads to a penalty against the Blue Devils. And the first odd man opportunity here for Richard DeAndrea's Princeton Day School Panthers. He said this could be a big key to the game, the odd man opportunities for either team. And now the Panthers looking to equalize. Brossman goes across. It's Auslander. Down low. They'll go back to Brossman. He winds and fires and scores. The senior midfielder, who can just rifle it from anywhere on the field, does so here and converts on the extra man opportunity for Princeton Day School. As we get one more look. Good find from across the way. And Brossman's able to finish high. So we are tied up at 1. On paper, not a ton to separate these two teams. In a good way. Sometimes you look at matchups on paper and you say, well, neither of these teams really stand out to you, so it looks even that way. But you look at these two teams, and there's plenty to talk about, plenty to be impressed with in terms of what these teams have accomplished this season. A very good matchup. A top program in New Jersey against an up-and-coming program in Pennsylvania. They only started lacrosse at Chestnut Hill Academy back in 2005. Used to be a recreational sport. That they have turned it into one of their more competitive programs, as in front nearly getting it through to Peter Shannon, but it'll go all the way back to the midfield line, and they're going to call an offsides as Jared Levison, the defender, was shielding his body at midfield, and it's just a give of possession here to Springside-CHA. CJ Schweitzer, the junior midfielder, waits for some substitutions to come back onto the field before he starts the offense. And here they go. Near side, Jack Lamb. Lamb being pushed by Diego Garcia, and somehow it found its way to the front of the cage and able to clear it away, the defender and the goalkeeper, and Connor Green. Well done by PDS there. Looked like a dangerous opportunity for the Blue Devils. And here's Princeton Day School looking for their first lead of the game. Will Brossman, the early goal scorer, gives behind the cage. Now making his move, Elon Tuckman, but he was shielded off there by Matt Rahill, the defender for the Blue Devils. So they'll reset, and Kobe Auslander, who has been a contributor since his freshman campaign, has it in his stick. Auslander comes to the near side behind the cage. Peter Shannon now backs up, eyes his options, and it's Elon Tuckman. Shannon gives the screen. Tuckman goes to the top, and it's shoveled away by Springside Chestnut Hill. And now Tyson Hughie, and nearly hitting Zach Messerly in stride, but it'll go away for a Princeton Day possession. As winning the battle, Jared Levison, the junior defender who restarts. Almost tossed it over the stick of Auslander, but he gets it up quickly with some good wheels. Jake Bennett now. Coach Dandridge said it's a very tight-knit group, this Princeton Day School Panthers team. One that's worked exceptionally hard in the offseason. Very high expectations this year. The defending Mercer County champions. They throw it away, and here's Springside Chestnut Hill. You just look at the schedule that PDS and Springside Chestnut Hill, for that matter, play. These are two coaches that don't like to schedule any duds on their schedule. They like to have their teams playing the toughest. And here's a shot that will go high and wide. It'll stay with the Blue Devils. Now, Springside Chestnut Hill, they're right in the middle of their tough interact schedule. You got to go up against schools like Malvern Prep, Haverford School. Oh, great move there. And off the crossbar it goes as Jack Lamb rings it off the pipe. And the other way we go. Some speed for Tyler Birch. He quickly plays the Tuckman. And now in the offensive zone, Jake Bennett. And getting back defensively was Springside Chestnut Hill, forcing PDS to set up. Just about 9 minutes into the first quarter, 1-1 score. Early goal by Springside Chestnut Hill, answered by Princeton Day School's Will Brossman. Both teams have been very patient on offense. Nothing really forced. Trying to force the issue here. It's Tuckman going behind the cage. And Jake Bennett swinging it. It's Auslander and Brossman spinning. And the shot defended away. Good save there. And the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper for Springside Chestnut Hill, Bern Popke. Long stick midfielder, Tyson Hughie, bringing it ahead. And Zach Messerly goes behind the cage for Springside Chestnut Hill. Brendan Clark who we've got plenty to talk about. And a very interesting story with Brendan Clark, who's playing this year in recovery of brain surgery that he had to undergo both back in March and January. 2 brain surgeries, and he's still up here playing. As here's Springside-Chestnut Hill. And Tyler Birch goes out of bounds on the shot, first to the end line for the Blue Devils. And Mac McLaughlin will restart, eyed up by Jack Amaral. McLaughlin lost it. Amaral provides the defense. Amaral, the senior captain for Princeton Day School, vocal leader for the Panthers, as that's some sloppy clearing. Lucky for PDS for the moment. Yeah, well done there by Justin Harrop to keep possession. And now up to Will Brossman. We do have a whistle with 1:30 to go. Looks like a couple substitutions will come in. So it'll be PDS ball here on the restart. Elon Tuckman. Working around the carousel to Tuckman again behind the cage. Brossman thinking shot. Instead they go back to Tuckman, working the offense from behind the net. Now in the middle, trying to force it in, and picking up the ground ball and shooting at the same time, Jake Bennett, but it goes into the stick of the goalkeeper in Popke. Taking his time, Jack Lamb, 40 seconds to go. The Blue Devils may be content here to hold for one shot. At least one chance. Ensure themselves at least a tie heading into the second quarter. Scored a goal very early on, but the Panthers have clamped down since then. Now making their move are the Blue Devils. 10 seconds to go as it's picked up here by Messerly. Messerly trying to get into the middle. It was knocked away by Brooks Johnson and cleared away by PDS deep, but the time's going to expire, and that will do it for the first quarter. After one, there are ones on the scoreboard. 1-1 the score as PDS and Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy do battle. Back we come, start of the second quarter, 1-1 ball game here. Baker Field, Princeton, New Jersey. Hot and humid day that it's turning into here in Princeton. And it's even hotter on the field. Mentioned the new turf here at Baker Field. Relatively new. And when you play on a turf field like this, the heat tends to magnify when you're playing there on the field. It'll feel about 10 or 15 degrees cold or warmer when the sun's out like this. So, plenty of fluids going to be consumed by both of the teams, I'm sure. Teams going opposite directions now as Princeton Day School now rolls left to right and has taken off nearly the first minute of play in this second quarter. As they will get a good chance, and the save is made, sealing it off on the shot by Tuckman. Princeton Day School able to come away with another forced turnover. And back into the offensive zone they go again. Tuckman, 19 goals, looking for his 20th in this game. It's Jake Bennett out of the top. Rossman, another extra pass. Tuckman spinning. Tuckman going to goal. Tuckman going to be hit as he gets into the crease. What are they going to call? It is a crease violation against Elon Tuckman, trying to force the issue. And we are headed the other way as Springside-Chestnut Hill looks to get back on the board. They scored very early on in the game, just about a minute in. And they're going to call a penalty against PDS as Jack Amaral chopped the ball out of the stick. And that'll be a penalty against Amaral and an extra man opportunity here for the Blue Devils. The Blue Devils gave up their goal when they were penalized. And now they look to make PDS pay for the penalty as they bring it back in. Big spot in the game here in the first half. Springside-Chestnut Hill with a good chance to tie. Trying to get it in front, but it'll go to the far side, and an open man, and a goal is scored. Jack Lamb. Don't think he was the intended target on that pass through the middle, as we'll get one more look here. Here's the pass from C.J. Schweitzer. He was looking to flash that one in the middle. And a good opportunity by Jack Lamb, and the senior midfielder makes it 2-1 visiting team. Nick Day back out for another face-off for Princeton Day. And he's going to lose this one. He has lost the battles here in this game, which has been unlike him throughout the season. He's been an exceptional face-off man. Coming into the game, 80 of 124. That's about 65% of the face-offs won for Nick Day. But after giving up a goal, the Panthers back on defense again. No longer Amaral is in the penalty area. But both teams have scored on extra man opportunities as we have a whistle, and it's going to be Blue Devils ball. They'll start from behind the cage. Gyllenhaal. Now McLaughlin, he scored the game's first goal. Jack Amaral defending. Physical play there. Amaral forcing him back out and getting some help from Sam Bernardi. And they're forced to go back out to Parker Popkey. And now Tutkhusian. Joe Tutkhusian, doubled by Amaral. And it's McLaughlin. As PDS continues to collapse very well. Not a lot of space to work in the middle. More good defense from Bernardi. As Mac McLaughlin just cannot get by him. He's going to try again, try to sneak it in the near post, and it goes off of the side of the net. So Mac McLaughlin, no dice that time. Credit the defense to Sam Bernardi of Princeton Day School. And Connor Green, who had the near post sealed off. Still 2-1, Princeton Day bringing it into the offensive zone. And here's Elon Tuckman working with Jake Bennett. Freshman has been on the field quite a lot in this game and this season. And for good reason. Bennett with 7 goals this year, 8 assists. Here's a good chance. It's Johnson's shot, who's... Check that. It was Will Brossman who made the move and shot it high and wide, but first to the end line, Jake Bennett. 7 minutes to go, second quarter. PDS down by 1 again. It's Brossman who loses it as he goes towards the net. He also lost his stick. And a violation called against the Panthers. The goaltender and Popkey pops it out to midfield. Matt Rahill brings it in, and now into the offensive zone goes Jack Lamb. Timeout called by Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy. Will give us a chance to meet the coach of Princeton Day School as we go into the coach's corner. Rich DeAndrea, third season as the head man for Princeton Day School. To Georgetown. He's an English teacher here at PDS. So a liaison for the athletics department. He was a goalie for the Petty School. And boy, did he give the current goalie for the Petty School something to think about when he and his team dropped 11 goals in their last game against Petty. He's a 2-time All-League goalie, senior captain at Georgetown University. And he appeared in 4 straight NCAA tournament quarterfinals. So you're talking about a guy with a local pedigree here in New Jersey and a college pedigree at Georgetown University. Big experience playing in big games in the NCAA tournament. And he's got some big-time players here at Princeton Day School. Certainly a reason why many of the young, talented lacrosse players want to come here to PDS and be a part of the program. Rich DeAndrea, the head coach. You see him sending out his troops. 6:20 to go here in the second quarter. And the score 2-1. Fans here starting the chants as we are back to the action. Springside-Chestnut Hill calling the timeout and now has possession, looking for a 2-goal lead. This is Jack Lamb, one of the goal scorers here for Springside-Chestnut Hill. Nearly becomes another as he rings it off of the pipe. That is the third shot that we've seen already go off of a post. And winning that race, Princeton Day School, as Diego Garcia, the junior midfielder, turns on the Jets and brings it across midfield. Garcia up ahead to Elon Tuckman. And now it's a timeout called by Princeton Day School. So both teams have taken timeouts here in the last 30 seconds. So we get a chance now to take a look at Springside-Chestnut Hill side and head coach Mike DelGrand. A crazy story this year with one of their senior attackmen, Brandon Clark, who I mentioned earlier, has gone through 2 brain surgeries this year. It was found in January that he had a tumor on his brain. He had immediate surgery, and 6 weeks later, something popped up again. But Brandon Clark saying it's made him appreciate how quickly it can all be taken from him, and nothing was going to keep him off of the lacrosse field. Well, if a brain tumor is not going to keep you off of a lacrosse field, then really nothing will. But number 2 for Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy, 5'10", 150 pounds. He's playing in his 8th game back since his 2nd surgery, and he looks good. He's been scoring goals. He's been playing for Springside-Chestnut Hill since his freshman season and playing well, and he'll be playing at Wagner next year. He celebrated his return to the field after his surgery. About 8 games ago against Archbishop Curley, he did score a goal in that game. A great story to see Brandon Clark back in action for Springside-Chestnut Hill when it was found out that he needed to have the surgery. They started a GoFundMe page to help pay for those medical expenses. $38,000 was raised with the help of his Springside-Chestnut Hill family. So great story there, and great to see Brandon Clark on the field. 5 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. 2-1 lead for Brendan Clark's Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy Blue Devils, and it's Jordan Young, the defender, who took it away but then turned it over. So a bone thrown to PDS as they receive back the number 1 seed in both the Mercer County tournament as well as the upcoming Prep B tournament. This is Auslander. Now Brossman passing behind to Tuckman. Now in front it goes, and it's picked up and cleaned up by Will Brossman. He's got his 2nd goal of the game, and PDS has tied it at 2. We get one more look here. Here's Brossman. I'm not sure if that was a shot or a pass because it went right into the stick of Tuckman. You put it in front of the goal, things happen. Brossman, after his shot, he collapsed well. And sometimes you just got to be at the right place at the right time. Good scoop by Brossman. He picks it up and scores. And he's got 2 goals for PDS. See, when it starts to get loud here, you can hear those cheers happening and some stomping going on the bleachers. You'll notice a little bit of shaking on the cameras. And it's just because the bleachers and the rise where our cameras are situated are part of the same thing. We have a tie game again, approaching 4 to go here in the 2nd quarter. And it has not been easy for Springside-Chestnut Hill. Only a couple of really point-blank opportunities, and they've converted. One of them was an extra man opportunity. Really, both teams have played good defense. That's a turnover. And Jared Levison brings it into the offensive zone. Can PDS? Yes, they can. Capitalize. As it is Elon Tuckman who gives the Panthers a 3-2 lead. They had to talk that one over. They're going to call a potential violation on Tuckman. But he was camped out here. It started with the turnover. And Levison providing the wheels to bring it upfield. Good movement. And a quick one-timer into the back of the cage for Elon Tuckman, his 20th goal of the season. So the first lead of the game for PDS comes with 3:33 to go in quarter number 2. Another loose ball. This one picked up by the Panthers. Oh, we do have a whistle that halts play momentarily. And a timeout called. So, 3:26 to go in quarter number 2. It is 2-1, or 3-2, excuse me, in favor of Princeton Day School. Friday, April 28th, it was the last day for the seniors at PDS until commencement, as they all embarked on their respective senior projects. They've completed the regular coursework. And there was a big event at school yesterday at Princeton Day School. And they started the event yesterday, the assembly, the head of school, and Jason Robinson opened up the event, and he was quickly interrupted by the fire alarm here at PDS. And then they reconvened and had their assembly at the end of the week this week. Congratulations to all of the outgoing seniors for completing their regular coursework, and have fun on their senior projects over the next couple of weeks until commencement.
Hey, we got white. What do you say, white?
And mention that Springside-Chestnut Hill, they are right in the heart of their Interact schedule. They just went down, or they just beat Germantown Academy 12-10, losing to Haverford School before that. But then right after this game, Tuesday, they play Penn Charter, and then they're away at Malvern Prep before going to Episcopal Academy and hosting Haverford. So this is their only out-of-conference test in recent history for Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy, and a tough one at that, coming in and playing the 7-1 PDS Panther squad, as it's Auslander who runs out of room, and they turn it over to the Panthers. Patient clearing here by Springside-Chestnut Hill. Mac McLaughlin has it in his stick. Amaral eyes him up behind the cage. Go the Blue Devils. McLaughlin resets. Parker Popke, senior midfielder, makes his move. Popke shoots. Popke scores. Gets it past Green on the far side, and Parker Popke has tied the game up again, 3-3. Yeah, one more look here. I think he was surprised how open he was. Almost being dared to shoot that one, and a good finish there by Popke. And 2:16 to go. Score is 3-3. Violation against PDS. Yep, face-off battle definitely has been won by Springside-Chestnut Hill thus far. Now a chance to take some more time off the clock here as we approach halftime. Relatively low-scoring game, but most of the games this year for PDS, they expect to be not necessarily low-scoring, but definitely close. Again, priding themselves on scheduling tough opponents to make themselves ready come tournament time. They'll look to defend their Mercer County crown. They're going to call a timeout. Springside-Chestnut Hill will. 3-3, 1:22 to go. Both teams have used both of their timeouts here in the first half. So 1:22 to go. We'll take a look at Princeton Day School's schedule. Winners of 5 in a row. One not listed on here is the game against Robbinsville. And that Robbinsville game was a big one for PDS. That's a team in Robbinsville that they beat last year in the Mercer County Championship, and it's a team this year that is the number 2 seed in the Mercer County tournament that's upcoming. And the only reason they are a 2 seed is because of that game that they won 5 games ago that started this 5-game win streak for PDS. Games against Albany Academy and Newark Academy before tournament play begins both in the preps and the counties. Another successful lacrosse season for Princeton Day School, and still a lot to be excited about with all the youth on the team as well. Yeah, you're talking about a team that lost some talent, and they have really pivoted and transitioned to the next year well with a 7-1 record. Rich DeAndrea doing a great job. So, after the timeout by Coach Mike Del Grande, we are back to the action with the Blue Devils on possession. It's McLaughlin. Amaral right with him. Now double. In the middle, Zach Messerly with no room, so he goes back to Schweitzer, and the other side is Lamb. Jack Lamb forced back. Good defense by PDS with about 30 seconds to go. But that's going to be a goal for Springside-Chestnut Hill as Schweitzer had a point-blank opportunity. He is able to pass it off instead. Unselfish play. Look at Schweitzer here. He is wide open. And then look who else is wide open. The eventual goal scorer and Mac McLaughlin. And it is 4-3 Springside-Chestnut Hill. That is some unselfish lacrosse with 31 seconds to go. Panthers would do well with a face-off win here if they want to tie it up before halftime. And it will be a penalty against, at least a violation against Springside-Chestnut Hill. So still some time for PDS. Under 25 seconds. And they will score in just about 5 of them. It's the 3rd goal of the game for Will Brossman. And this is Brossman doing it all. Nice move, getting past Malcolm Glendinning, and then finishing low. Yeah, Brossman, he is a dangerous player to have. with goals 14, 15, and 16 on the day. Will Brossman has tied it up at 4. Now it's Springside-Chestnut Hill looking to work quickly. Parker Popke, under 10 seconds. In the middle, this one bounces just wide. The shot by Brendan Clark. And we go to halftime at Jan Baker Field. The score, Princeton Day School 4, Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy 4. This is live high school lacrosse on the Strive Network. Start of quarter number 3 here from Princeton Day School. A 4-4 ball game as the Blue Devils of Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy and the Panthers of Princeton Day School face off for the start of the third quarter. And what we expected to be a tight game through 2 quarters of play, that is how it has played out. And winning the opening face-off here of the third is Springside-Chestnut Hill. A lot of physicality over there on the far side. And the penalty is called against Springside-Chestnut Hill. So PDS with their first possession here in the second half. Teams traded very late goals. As scoring with 30 seconds left was Springside-Chestnut Hill. And then just 10 seconds later, it was Will Brinson who scored his third goal of the game. So 3 goals for Brinson. That leads all scorers, of course. And the other goal by Elon Tuckman. Those are the top 2 scorers all season for PDS. Tuckman with his 20th. Working it around the perimeter are the Blue Devils. Here's Jack Lamb, who did score a goal in the first half. Lamb making a move, Lamb shooting, and it's bounced wide. But there to back it up, Zach Messerly. Mac McLaughlin will reset here for Springside-Chestnut Hill. McLaughlin goes up top, CJ Schweitzer, who plays catch with Matt Bone. Schweitzer getting it back in the middle. Now Bone. Good hand-eye coordination to keep that one in his stick. And now it's Clark. Brendan Clark getting by 2 defenders. Now behind the cage. Oh, good stick work by the long stick in Brooks Johnson of PDS. And that forced it back out. We've got a penalty coming up. The flag goes flying. It looks like it's on Tyler Birch. Here's a shot that goes wide. Possibly getting a touch was Green. Backed up there by Springside-Chestnut Hill. And Tyler Birch does head to the sideline. It'll be an extra man opportunity for Springside-Chestnut Hill. Both teams 1 for 1 in their extra man opportunities. And here's the first of the third quarter for the Blue Devils. Schweitzer, as they pinch in with the offense. Schweitzer goes into the middle, and it's knocked away first by Brooks Johnson, and then by Jared Levison, and that's well done by the Panthers of PDS as they go racing ahead. Comes into Popka's stick. And the goaltender's able to settle for Springside-Chestnut Hill. Wheels for Matt Rayhill, the senior defender. And now Andy Ward. McLaughlin, right goal line extended. And McLaughlin continues to hold until he passes to Jack Lamb. Oh, great feed, and it's a finish there, a goal for Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy, and it's the man Brandon Clark, the senior attackman, who we mentioned overcoming his brain surgery, and he's back and scoring goals for Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy. And it gives the Blue Devils a 1-goal lead here with 8:49 to go in quarter 3. Nick Young back to the face-off X. Scrum between Young and Schweitzer. And it's Young who wins it, coming out of the pack, number 8 in Will Brossman. Panthers down by 1. It's Elon Tuckman. Guarded tightly, Tuckman goes to Cage and he scores! That was quick. Tuckman answers. Does it himself here. 2 goals for Tuckman today. As we get one more look. Just righted so hard there, and he's able to get away from the physicality and finish. So both teams scoring a goal here in the third quarter. Both teams scoring a goal in the last 45 seconds. 5-5. Neither team has had a 2-goal lead in this one. We've had 5 ties. Princeton Day School did have a lead once. They were leading 3-2. So here are the Blue Devils who get back on the board. Jack Lamb with his second goal. And the goals start piling up here in the second half. Third goal already in the first 4 minutes and change gone by. As Jack Lamb, the senior, able to get past his man. And he finishes far side. Nick Day fighting hard for this face-off up against Gabe Smithline of Springside-Chestnut Hill. Violation against PDS. Parker Popke. Down low, Brendan Clark. And Schweitzer, who has slowed the pace to a walk. This is Matt Bone. Sophomore attack. Bone goes off the crossbar, and it ricochets all the way out to Jack Lamb, who will let this one come out of play, and they'll quickly restart. As coming off the field is Matt Bone. And it's McLaughlin who comes back in for the Blue Devils. This shot goes off the crossbar. Second in a row. This one is now picked up by PDS as heading the other way, the long stick midfielder Brooks Johnson. Handing off to Jake Bennett. Only 2 Panthers have scored in the game. Tuckman. And, of course, Brossman, who has 3. This is Elon Tuckman, guarded by Matt Rahill. Tuckman spinning off and going behind to Jake Bennett. Now Auslander. And the overlap run by Brossman, who brings it into the corner. Brossman tied up by Malcolm Glendinning. And now back up to the top. It's Auslander. Auslander, a small, speedy, shifty player. And he tried to feed that one on the far post. Well, Brossman is able to corral. Brossman shoots, and a quick stick by the goaltender. And up with it goes Bern Popke. Little trouble with Popke passing this one, and he turns it over. This is trouble. He's out of the net. Auslander going to get it up ahead. Now it's Tuckman with numbers, and it's going to be no goal. Bern Popke getting back there and making the save. A glorious chance for PDS, and then they commit the violation, and we're headed the other way. Jake Bennett had a great chance to score out in front. And once again, the Springside Chestnut Hill turns it over. So right back to the Panthers on the offensive side. And Brossman, who lost it, he's guarded by Ryan Donegan. Those two still fighting, and it's Donegan who does eventually win the battle, but unable to keep it in play. And PDS takes over possession. So Jake Bennett. Elon Tuckman resets, and it's Auslander. Kobe Auslander doubled. Jack Konopka into the offensive zone, the junior midi. Konopka. Now Auslander. Kobe weaves his way into the middle. Auslander's shot goes wide. And winning the race to the end, Springside Chestnut Hills, Tyson Hugie. So a couple of good opportunities for PDS in the last couple of minutes. They still remain down by 1, 6-5. Just under 4 minutes to go. Third quarter. Slipping there, Jordan Young. And Amaral trying to provide some defense. He's called for the violation. It'll stay with Springside Chestnut Hill. Another whistle as heading to the goal was Brendan Clark. And this timeout is called. 3:30 to go in quarter number 3. It is 6-5 in favor of Princeton Day School. Take a quick step aside, come back, some more lacrosse action. Beautiful afternoon for some lax here at Baker Field on the campus of Princeton Day School, Princeton, New Jersey. Third quarter, 3.5 to go, 6-5 score. Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy has the lead. Still plenty of time for both teams to put some more goals on the board. And it's the Blue Devils out of the timeout with possession here. C.J. Schweitzer has the ball. Jack Lamb now with Schweitzer playing catch at the top. And Schweitzer looking for Lamb. Instead, he got it down to Brendan Clark, who scores his second of the quarter. And the third in a row for Springside-Chestnut Hill. They now have a 7-5 lead as Brendan Clark able to clean up the trash there. They're certainly playing in the Interact Conference, going up against extremely competitive lacrosse programs on a pretty much daily basis. That has definitely helped Springside-Chestnut Hill here in this game. Nick Day back out for the face-off. He's had some trouble against Gabe Smithline. As those two go at it here at the P. Ball finally pops out. Smithline was the one who had it in a stick, and they're going to give possession to PDS on the violation. 2.5 minutes to play in quarter number 3. 2-goal lead for Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy. PDS only with one loss this season. This is Peter Shannon. Senior attackman gives off to Jimmy O'Connor, the sophomore midi. O'Connor bumped by Will McHugh. Now it's Tuckman coming to receive. A flashing Auslander, but he was guarded tightly, so Tuckman goes back to the top, and Jack Konopka. Patient offense here from PDS. No shot yet, but 45 seconds have come off the clock in this possession. Oh, nearly getting it to a wide-open Jake Bennett. They could not connect. And now numbers the other way for Springside-Chestnut Hill. And they will spin it back. The way that goals have been scored in this game, and there haven't been too many, the offenses have both been very patient. You could even see Springside-Chestnut Hill being a little bit more patient given their 2-goal advantage. And time on their side as we approach near the fourth quarter. And here at the end of the third, you can expect them to take their time to guarantee themselves a lead heading into the final frame. And it's Matthew Bone. Spun back to Schweitzer. And now Lamb. Lamb scored 2 goals, but he will not get by Tyler Birch, the senior midi, with a great forced turnover. And he gives time for PDS to put another goal on the board before the third expires. Jake Bennett spinning. Jake Bennett in the corner trying to escape the pressure from Jordan Young. And Bennett still with possession. Young bumps him again. Bennett finds Tuckman. Tuckman with a rising shot that goes over the net. And the first man to the line, Springside-Chestnut Hill. And just 5 seconds to go. Off ahead it goes. Amaral is able to intercept a last-second heave. That will do it for the third quarter of play. It is Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy who scores 3 goals in the frame to PDS's 1. And the Blue Devils lead the Panthers 7-5 as we head to the fourth. Watching live high school lacrosse here on the Strive Network. Coming down to the final quarter, 12 minutes on the clock. A phenomenal matchup between Springside-Chestnut Hill and Princeton Day School. And PDS will have to play the comeback kids here in the fourth to improve their record to 8-1 and improve their win streak to 6 games. That's certainly some work to do. And yet another face-off win will help the cause of Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy. CJ Schweitzer has paced play at the top for Springside-Chestnut Hill. And you can really see the pace of play starting to slow down here for the Blue Devils. The benefits of not playing from behind, being able to take your time, but a shot is fired and the save is made by Connor Green. Green, a great goaltender that the Panthers are excited to have between the pipes for years to come. And the clear is successful here for PDS. Elon Tuckman. And now Jake Bennett. Bennett has had the ball in his stick a lot, has not scored in this game. Freshman does have 8 goals this year. 3 goals for Brinson, 2 goals for Tuckman. Those have been the 2 guys to put the ball in the back of the net for PDS. All 3 of Brinson's goals coming in the first half. This is Kobe Auslander. Auslander working against Ray Hill. And tight-roping that far sideline, it's Tuckman who gets it back to Auslander. Wraparound goal. Oh, no goal. They waved it off. They're going to say Auslander entered the crease, I believe is what they're saying. But no goal. You can see a couple of the Springside-Chestnut Hill players calling for that violation right as it occurred. And the referee saw it. So a good finish by Auslander is wiped away. Now we have a flag on the field. And it's a technical foul. As out there on the sideline, taking a seat in the penalty area, number 9 is Matt Rayhill. So it looks like an odd man opportunity for PDS after all, as they've got a good opportunity here to get within one goal. It's Tuckman back with Auslander. Now Brossman, his bouncing shot, saw the whole way in by Bern Popke. He's been great today, the goaltender for Springside-Chestnut Hill. And here come the Blue Devils the other way, but they are outnumbered. They score anyway. It's Jack Lamb who comes out of nowhere to finish that one. His third goal of the game. It's McLaughlin who has the ball on his stick, number 22 here, guarded by Amaral. And let's see. Yep, just a nice cut into the middle. No one there to guard Jack Lamb. And the way that this game has gone, a 3-goal lead seems commanding for Springside-Chestnut Hill, but no doubt PDS has some weapons that can score in a hurry. Remember how quickly PDS scored after the goal at the end of the second quarter. It was also scored by Jack Lamb of Springside-Chestnut Hill. Just about 6 seconds later is when PDS was able to get on the board. So no doubt the Panthers have some time to put the ball in the back of the net, but these face-offs going to be much more important as yet again Springside-Chestnut Hill wins it. They do turn it over here. Those extra possessions so important. And you can say that Gabe Smith line at the face-off X for the Devils of Springside-Chestnut Hill has been a very key part of today's game. And securing possession for the Blue Devils. But here's an important possession for Princeton Day School as Jack Amaral brings it into the offensive zone. Amaral going all the way behind to the net. Amaral loses it. And a timeout was called by Princeton Day School before he did so. So they called timeout 8-5 with 8:15 left in the game. And Rich DeAndrea will talk this one over. Don't forget, we're going to have all of the prep tournament games coming up on the Strive Network in a couple of weeks. That includes the Prep B Boys Championship game, which was here at Princeton last year. And it's quite possible that it'll be here again if the Panthers do make it to the championship game. It will be here at Jan Baker Field since they are the number 1 seed. And we'll also have the Prep B Girls Championship, as well as baseball and softball. And Prep A Boys and Girls Lacrosse as well. Score here, 8-5, 8:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Princeton Day School will have possession, and they come out. But 3 straight goals by Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy has given them a 3-goal advantage. Game was tied at 5 early in the third quarter. A couple of big opportunities for PDS gone awry. Most notably, probably the odd man opportunity. It's basically a 2-on-0 that PDS had with Bennett and Tuckman. And a great save was made by Bern Popke of Springside-Chestnut Hill. He's made a couple of big saves to keep his team in the lead. And, of course, that goal just wiped away a couple moments ago by Kobe Auslander. That would have been huge, as it would have made it a 1-goal game. Instead, Springside-Chestnut Hill went down the other way to score and have increased their lead to 3 as the referees at midfield discuss something. You never know what those referees are talking about. They're a little bit of an extra breather for the players. Hot and humid day here in Princeton, New Jersey. It's nice that the game time has been moved up relatively early today, starting at 12 o'clock. And for a number of reasons, it's a nice thing. It's not as hot earlier in the day, but also late in the day, you're looking west. If you're looking at our camera, you're looking west. And when you're here and the sun is setting, which it does on most days, that sun is right in your eyes here at Jan Baker Field, and not something we have to worry about when the game time is at 12 o'clock. And we are back to the action after the timeout, as PDS, after talking with head coach DeAndrea, gives it to Kobe Auslander. And Elon Tuckman slows pace momentarily. And here's a shot that goes well wide. And the loose ball picked up by Tuckman. Tuckman trying a wraparound with one hand, but did not have the right leverage. Play backed up by Jake Bennett. And here's Auslander. Kobe checked, and now Brinson's shot goes wide. Brinson has been the hot hand in this game, 3 goals. But he hasn't scored since the second quarter. Elon Tuckman bullying his way in and finishing. Tuckman's got a hat trick. Uses his body very well, and just a little bit of space for him to maneuver. Look at both the defender and goalkeeper looking at each other there. Well, at least the defender and Matt Rahill looking over at the goaltender. It did look like Bern Popke had that near post sealed up, but he found the upper corner. Did Elon Tuckman. Big goal. And the Panthers are within 2. So first 3 goals of the game for PDS scored by Brossman. And the second 3 goals of the game scored by Tuckman. Springside-Chestnut Hill nearly with an opportunity to get one back with Parker Popke. Violation called. And here comes PDS the other way. Sprinting off the field goes number 9 and Sam Bernardi. And this is Brooks Johnson, the long stick midfielder. Now Bennett. Down low, it's Tuckman. Finally some life here in the fourth quarter for Princeton Day School. A goal would bring them within one. It's Jake Bennett. And now Tuckman back to Auslander. The sophomore midi. With some quick legs. He gets that one away. And it rolls all the way to the back where it's picked up by Bennett. 6 minutes to go. Tuckman, guarded by Matt Rahill. Tuckman against Rahill again, and same result. Elon Tuckman putting the team on his back in the second half. And we get one more look at yet another physical goal by the standout junior here at PDS. Tuckman so good at just finding any area for him to let his stick go. And he lets it off with such velocity. You've always got a chance to put that ball in the back of the net and get it past the goaltender, and Bern Popke couldn't handle that one. So 2 quick goals by Tuckman. And they're going to call a false start against Springside-Chestnut Hill. So now a chance to tie up for PDS. Just like that, it looked like Springside-Chestnut Hill had all of the momentum in the game and a 3-goal lead, and no real sign of offensive life for PDS, but all of a sudden Elon Tuckman has scored 2 goals from right around the same area, and it's 8-7. Just over 5 minutes to go. PDS on the ball. Kobe Auslander has it at the red line. Konopka. Now behind the cage, it's Bennett. Jake Bennett spinning. But staying right with him, step for step, Tyson Hoogie. Auslander. Probing. And now it's Bennett from Tuckman. Other side, Brossman. As coming up to give a screen, Konopka. Brossman wants to fire and does so, but high. And I believe there was a violation beforehand. Nope, just going to be a... was a violation against PDS, so we're headed the other way. And Springside-Chestnut Hill and Bern Popke resets here. The goaltender eyeing his options and turning it over. How about Springside-Chestnut Hill making some mistakes here with the lead in the fourth quarter. And that's a big one to give the hot Princeton Day School offense another opportunity here. 2 straight goals by Elon Tuckman has brought them to within 1. Here he is passing off to Brossman. And now Auslander right outside the red line. Auslander, head of speed. Auslander behind the cage. Quick pass, Tuckman. Looking middle, nothing's there. Tuckman again, backing up, shielding. Brossman had his shot deflected, and it falls in weakly on Popke, who restarts with a long pass and a good one. He hits Hughie in stride, and now numbers for Springside-Chestnut Hill, and they cannot score. Green makes a point-blank save on Brendan Clark. Keeps the game 8-7. So PDS 3.5 to go. Brings into the offensive zone Tyler Birch. So again, it's Tuckman. Guarded by Rahill. That's been the defender of the last 2 goals for Springside-Chestnut Hill. Rahill has played some pretty good defense, but Tuckman has just found ways to get a shot off, and that's been enough. Not this time. Tuckman passes. Auslander. Now far side, Brossman. I'd like to get him in a shooting area. Here's Brossman going underneath. And Bennett couldn't turn around to shoot. The ground ball is going to be swept back back into the grasp of Bern Popke. Popke with a long pass, a dangerous one. And a timeout. 2:23 to go here in the fourth quarter, 8-7. Just looking at the season statistics for Princeton Day School. Now, coming into the game, Elon Tuckman, 19 goals, 17 assists. He's now got 22 on the year. 23 on the year with his 4 goals here in the second half today. He felt Will Brossman catching up to him in the goals category, as Brossman scored goals 14, 15, and 16. Second place on the team in goals. Auslander's got 11 this year, and Jack Konopka's got 10, but the only 2 to score today, Brossman and Tuckman. $175 goals total this year for Princeton Day School. Scored 206 last year in their Mercer County tournament winning season. Had a good test here, and Coach DeAndrea said in his preview of the season that most of the games should be within 1 or 2 goals, and that's going to help them out come tournament time. These kinds of battles in the regular season, even though it's not an in-conference battle, even though it's not an in-state battle, and you're going up against a good opponent on the other side, and you've got a close game in the end, this experience will always help when you get into those nitty-gritty moments in the postseason. Coming up in just a couple of weeks' time here. No particular hurry here for Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy with 2 minutes to go and a 1-goal lead. Tight defense, though, has to be played by Princeton Day School. And it's Tyler Birch providing this defense as it's thrown away by Springside-Chestnut Hill. They turn it over. That's exactly what PDS needed. Nice move by Justin Harrop. Look at the wheels on the junior. Tuckman. And it's Jake Bennett. Under a minute and a half. As a point-blank save made. Oh, what a save there from Popke. Auslander had a great chance to finish, but he couldn't do so. And with 1:12 to go, the Blue Devils have possession. The Blue Devils have a chance. It's McLaughlin who opts not to shoot. Instead, winds some clock. McLaughlin chased by Amaral. This ball stays in play, but only for the moment as the whistle blows. And whose ball is it? We do have a flag that comes out. And let's wait to see what's going on in this sequence. It's against Princeton Day School. So Will Brossman, the guilty party, and an extra man opportunity here for Springside-Chestnut Hill at the end of the game. Could seal it. They just have to play possession here. With a little bit of extra field to work with. Blue Devils playing keep away. 25 seconds to go. as they look to improve to 9-7 on the season and give PDS their second loss. And it does look like that's the way it's going to go with just 10 seconds left. PDS does have possession here. It's Amaral, but they got to get it up fast. Just 5 seconds, launched up ahead. And it's over the head of Elon Tuckman. That will do it. Impressive win for Springside-Chestnut Hill Academy as they come into Princeton and leave Baker Field with an 8-7 win. Great game all around by both teams. Two great programs that have some exciting things to look for in the coming weeks with postseason coming up. But 8 goals for Springside-Chestnut Hill, more than the 7 goals for Princeton Day School. 9-7 are the Blue Devils of Springside-Chestnut Hill, and now 7-2 are the Panthers of PDS. For my director, Allie Wenner, I'm Simon Rose. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time here on the Strive Network.